Does chance rule our destiny? That is the big question in religion. You might ask, is there chance in life? I would say, you bet. This is a clear example of how chance plays a role in our lives. There is randomness because all these dice are independent of each other, but because we can talk about many of them, we can make predictions in terms of probabilities. Dice are causally independent of each other unless the dice are loaded. Here are examples of how chance may affect us in daily life. After the Big Bang, there was chance. Some regions were denser than average. Asteroids have a predictable target, yet it's unintended. Mutations change DNA for better or for worse. Chance events. Tornadoes hit some and not others. As Blaise Pascal wrote, if the nose of Cleopatra had been shorter, the whole face of the earth would have been changed. And imagine, if your parents had not met that day, you wouldn't be here. There is chance in life. They do not happen by chance because they are uncaused or we cannot trace their causes, but there are so many causal chains that intersect with each other. Chance may occur from the occurrence of two causes that happen to be at the same place and the same time. That's what we usually call coincidence. But the question is there chance in religion? Again, you bet. The book of Ecclesiastes, or Kohelet, says it's all decided by chance, by being in the right place at the right time. St. Augustine says in the City of God that no one in this life can escape being tossed about by chance and accident. And Thomas Aquinas says from the occurrence of two causes it is possible for some chance event to occur, coincidence. All these authorities in religion acknowledge that there is chance in life. But be careful, chance is not a deity. Do not convert chance into some kind of goddess, the goddess of fortune, a sort of whimsical deity. Terms like fate or destiny or doom, meaninglessness, they are in essence worldview notions. They have nothing to do with science and they do not belong in scientific vocabulary. They are part of palm reading lingo. Our fate is not in the stars nor in our palm lines. Interpreting the word random as senseless or meaningless changes life into a mere play of whimsical and fortuitous events. By so doing, we turn chance into a capricious, blind agent. Sometimes scientists do that, but they have no right as scientists to decree that we are unintended or unplanned or unguided or mere products of a blind fate. That is beyond their competence as scientists. Please let us teach science, not preach it. Words used by scientists are not always words used scientifically. They abuse their authority. So there is blind faith versus providence in religion. As the Catechism of the Catholic Church says, is the universe governed by chance, blind faith, anonymous necessity, or by a transcendent, intelligent and good being called God? When we speak of randomness in science, and we do, we are talking in statistical terms, in the sense of how things in this universe are related to each other, not how they are related to God. Religion is about how is randomness, chance, related to God. We as human beings are contingent, that is, we could easily not have existed. But that does not mean we are random or mere products of blind fate. As the Catechism says, the world is not the product of any necessity whatever, nor of blind fate or chance. So is it chance or providence? Thomas Aquinas says divine providence does not exclude chance and accident. Chance is about how causes are related to each other, as we said before. We exist thanks to our parents, and there might be chance involved. Providence is about how causes are related to God. We exist thanks to God, although we came here through our parents. So, to put it in a different context, chance is about causes within the universe which are secondary causes in philosophical terminology. Providence is about the primary cause, the first cause, the cause of the universe, not the causes within the universe. All talk about chance and randomness is seen either from a human perspective, how things are related to each other, not from God's perspective, in terms of how they are related to God. So, behind all these causes, secondary causes, there is a primary cause. The secondary causes work within a framework of the primary cause, the creator of heaven and earth. It's the framework in which we live and move and have our being, God. Can providence use chance? Sure it can. As the book of Proverbs says, the lot is cast into the lap, but its every decision is from the Lord. And in the first book of Samuel, Saul said, "Cast a lot between me and my son Jonathan." And Jonathan was taken. And St. Luke says in his Gospel, according to the custom of the priesthood, he was chosen by lot to enter the temple of the Lord and burn incense. And the book of Acts says, then they gave lots to them, and the lot fell upon Matthias. Providence can use chance. But there is no chance when it comes to God. Whoever believes that everything is a matter of chance does not believe that God exists, says Thomas Aquinas. Padre Pio once said to the man who claimed such and such an event had happened by chance, "And who do you suppose arranged the chances?" And John Henry Cardinal Newman wrote in an 1868 letter, "The accidental evolution of organic beings is accidental to us, not to God." There is the difference again between randomness in science, between causes, and randomness in religion, in relation to God. In relation to God, there is no chance. How can God arrange the chances? We can. The mind, the soul, may seem to be nowhere in the body. Realize that. It's the soul of it all either. It is part of everything the body does without being a bodily part. I use the pool table as an example. All these paths are ruled by law and order, by laws of nature. And yet, we come in from outside the system, and we can regulate how to apply those laws and rules. If we can do that, if we have the ability to steer the laws of nature, then why could God not do that? Thomas Aquinas once used the relationship between mind, soul, and body as an analogy to portray and understand the relationship between God and world. So, in other words, when miracles happen, they do not go against the God-given laws of nature, but they go beyond them, like we do when we play billiards on a pool table. Miracles happen every day. The famous philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre was an atheist. He wrote in one of his books, Both your life and your death are merely nothing. You are nothing, you do nothing, you have done nothing, you can do nothing. And then something happened to Sartre. He went through a conversion at the end of his life. And he said in an interview with one of his friends, I do not feel that I am the product of chance, a speck of dust in the universe, but someone who was expected, prepared, prefigured. Imagine this conversion, from chance to providence. He left his past behind and went through a deep conversion. All of a sudden he realized that even chance is ruled by providence. Pope Benedict XVI said something similar in his very first homily as pontiff. We are not some casual and meaningless product of evolution. Each of us is the result of a thought of God. Each of us is willed. Each of us is loved. Each of us is necessary. That was a brief view on chance and providence. There is much more on this issue. I talked about it in one of my books of All That Is Seen and Unseen. You can find it at queenship.org. Or my book The Destiny of the Universe, which you can find at paragonhouse.org. Chapter 3 goes into these questions, and chapter 6 goes into providence and chance.